toxic workplace behavior number 4. I've given a document that has 15 and I posted this a few days ago. So every day I want to talk about one of those and give you a few tips on how to either identify it, navigate it, work with it, those kind of things, so that you're not feeling like you are just kind of out there alone. So while I'm waiting for people to get in, I'm going to just write up today. We're talking about when more people resign than stay. And we're going to talk about it from 2 different angles. One is if you're just taking a brand new interview with a company, how do you find out if this is a toxic workplace? And number 2, what if you work in a workplace and you're immune to it, you're not bothered by it, but there's things happening around you. I want to give you some signs so that you can recognize if your workplace is a toxic workplace. So, question of the day, we're talking about resigning. Let me see. Let's ask about interviewing, because I think a lot of people do not take advantage of an interview for themselves. We often go there and we think that we're being interviewed to see if we are a good fit, but we don't actually take the time to find out if they're a good fit for me. So my question will be, have you ever asked an interviewer questions about culture? And my polls are always like yes and no. So I want to get, there we go. All right, so you should be seeing that along the bottom of your screen now, and you just simply click on your answer, yes, no, have I been a part of this process? Give me an idea. Of course, if you're tuning in, say hi in the chat box, let me know you're there. If you have any questions, put them in there as well. Even I do watch for comments, so that's not a problem. So let's talk about toxic behavior number 4, when more people are resigning. So you've just got this interview, you're super excited. There's a new opportunity. Maybe this is that leadership position you've always wanted, and finally somebody sees your value and they want to talk to you about what you can bring to the company. And we get so excited about the opportunity that we forget, or we don't invest in finding out if the company actually is a good fit for us. So I want to give you 3 questions you can ask, and there's lots. Actually, I've got probably about 15 on my document. And if you want this document, this download, just join the Conquer Conflict group. It's free. It's a place where I give you a little bit more information. The Facebook page is great, but in the group you can get a little bit more in depth. So go ahead and join that group and you can download these documents. They're all free in there too. Okay. But I'm going to give you 3 questions. So you're sitting in the interview, it's gone really good, you're vibing, you think, oh my God, I just want this environment. I want to work here. Just take a pause. And remember that you also need to assess them. That's an important piece in an interview. Question number 1 I will give you. What if you were to ask them, how long have you worked at this company? And just inquire as to how they came to know about this company, what they like about this company. To have a casual conversation with your interviewer and get a sense. So if they're brand new, I might be wondering, you're brand new and you're hiring me brand new in maybe a leadership position or not. There may be a little red flag for me. If they've been there for 20 years, okay, then maybe this is maybe a little better. So you can ask that question. That's a harmless question. Can you tell me how long have you worked here and what is the thing you like most about this company? They're going to give you some insights as to what their favorite thing is. We could also ask, let's see, which one will I give you? Okay, when there's conflict in the workplace, how is it managed and who makes the ultimate decision as to what will be the process going forward? This will give you a little bit of insight as to what their hierarchy is, or some organizations are using a different term to maybe decrease the emphasis of hierarchy and more of a collaborative, but you'll get a sense of that when you talk to them. And identifying, so I keep looking over at my screen over here, and identifying what processes, how they support employees through conflict, because listen, conflict is always going to happen. There's a fantastic question to ask about is, what kind of things have caused conflict in the past 6 months? How has it been managed? What were the outcomes? It is okay to ask those questions. So I feel like I have to stop saying that word because it really resonates with me every time I say it now, which means I say it too often. Call me on it, people. Tell me if it's distracting or not. Let me work in a culture already and you've been enjoying your job, you come to work, you put in your day, you leave, and you haven't really noticed that there are issues, but there's stuff happening around you and you're curious as to why are all those good employees leaving? That's one of your first signs. When good employees leave, that's probably one of the biggest signs. And I have seen this in workplaces before. I have been there. I was working in a place and it probably wasn't 6 months. And people who I respected and admired, I thought they were leaders in our area, were resigning. And when I would talk to them, it would be about values that were not being mirrored in the organization. So for example, if they had implemented a certain situation with it was school, with a student, and then the organization overrode that decision, they felt like their decision-making ability, that their professional opinion did not matter. And that was a value set for them that they couldn't overcome. So good people left this organization. It didn't sit well with me, obviously. It bothered me they were leaving. It made me wonder what kind of a place have I come into. It didn't affect me personally, so I stayed longer. But I did see signs of a toxic workplace, and I certainly experienced more of it near the end of my time there. Let me give you 3 things you can look for. 3 is the magic number. There is more on this document. Get it, it's free. Finding out why good employees leave. Talk to them. You may find out that it is for reasons of trust and autonomy. Those are 2 big ones. And a lack of appreciation and respect. Like the list goes on. Some of the big ones are a lack of appreciation. It's one of the primary reasons people leave, and this can come in many different forms. A simple thank you, when there's never a thank you for the work that you do. When there is cliques, so you can recognize in workplaces there are certain people who are always getting praise and thank you and appreciations, both one-on-one and in a public forum, like maybe a staff meeting. I have seen this too. The same people repeatedly getting thank yous and acknowledgement, while there's a whole group of people who never get a thank you and never get an acknowledgement. Sometimes that's just a genuine oversight, but sometimes it's part of the process that they have established to create this culture of appreciation. They're not always working effectively, so check in with your people leaders. If people are not feeling valued, if they're rolling their eyes when you give these public thanks, check in with them. Now, when you have a high-performing employee, or if you are the high-performing employee, you will know this to be true. When you become micromanaged, when your leader no longer trusts your decision-making process and they come in and they are micromanaging your day, that feels insulting. And so people who are high performers, they thrive in that trust. They thrive in that autonomy, and they give you better results. When you start to micromanage, then they start to leave and exit. You will see that in your workplace as well. One more thing that you might notice is people are talking about a lack of opportunities for growth. So what are they talking about at the water cooler? What are they sharing at lunchtime? Are they still contributing in staff meetings? Are they still volunteering? Because your high performers, those employees who feel valued, will definitely be jumping in on anything they can to make the company look good, because when you have a person who feels valued, the organization's values, missions, purpose take on a higher meaning in their life. And when that starts to be chipped away at and eroded away at, then those good employees start to look elsewhere because they want to feel valued. So if they're talking about that there's no growth, there's never any opportunities for training, there's never going to be a promotion, people who are good want more. That's how they become good. That's how they stay good. They don't want to stay stagnant. So that's another thing you can watch for in your workplace if you're wondering, why are these people all leaving? What are they talking about? Find that out. And that's going to give you insights into the culture. And maybe this is just simply a new supervisor's come in, or perhaps there's been a new policy, or there's been an abrupt shift and a change in how the organization works. Those things can happen, and that can cause a lot of turbulence. But good employees can still work through that. It's when they persist that your good employees will leave. I'm going to leave, I didn't say the word so, it's going through my head. I'm going to leave this here for you now, and I really would love to hear from you. Send in your comments. Let me know if you have witnessed this or you've been in that position where you feel like the toxicity in the culture has caused more people to resign, which is a shame because there's a lot of costs involved with onboarding a person. And the turnover can be detrimental to those who stay behind. That's another negative side effect. So share your stories, let me know below, and I hope to see you inside the group.